Helen learned to do. Good morning, guys, from the greenhouse. I wanted to show you this. In one of the last videos, I showed you planting the seeds from Hoss, and I want you to see this. So these are the Better Boy hybrids. They were not pelletized at all, and they have started coming up. I can see little ones coming up in the ones that you don't see a little plant in. But you see, they're doing so good, y'all. Okay, so on over to the Hossinators have not broke yet, but they were pelletized, so they will take a couple of extra days. The Red Snapper, I have got one right here that is coming up. Now they're pelletized also, so it should take a couple of extra days on them. I can see one coming up right in here. So we are at the point where tomatoes are going to start coming up, which is very exciting. I do have them on a heat mat in here, but it is in the greenhouse, so it stays pretty warm during the day. The only problem is that right now there is no sun out there to replenish my solar panel, to get more power to my solar box that I've got out here. So I'm probably going to have to run some extension cords out here to run these heat mats and lights. Now, over here, these are peppers. The peppers have not sprouted yet, which is completely normal for peppers to take a minute. I'm trying to look and see if I see anything that's beginning to happen over here, and I do not. Let me go get an extension cord and get the heat mat back on, because my battery run dead over here and it's having issues receiving any sunlight this morning with it being a rainy day. So yeah, it went dead overnight there. I am going to do something a little bit different with the seedlings this year. You know, usually I up pot, grow them out a little bit, and then go put them in the ground. So this year, I'm doing a little bit different. I'm going to be putting them in the ground directly from the seedling tray. So I will show you guys that when time comes. And you can see I have got this heavy duty seedling tray here. And then this one here, the existing one, that's just cracked, broke, doesn't sit right. So you can get this again from Hoss Tools, and I do have a link on every video because I am an affiliate with Hoss. And if you use my link, we will get a small commission, but it's no extra charge to you. It just helps our farm out for telling you what we like and what we don't like. And right now, I'm so in love with this tray, y'all, that I'm about to go in and get online and buy another one. Yes, they are pricey compared to these cheap ones, but that's what you're going to get. You're going to get those popping, cracking, cheap ones that you can't use the second year. This one I'm going to be using for years to come. So I'm investing in these good trays, and I'm about to go inside and buy another one. If you have a stack of these cheap ones and you go through them, they're going to cost you the same for a stack of them as this one. Okay? But you know what you've got? You have got a stack that you're going to throw away. They're not going to last you for years. And you can have this one that you can reuse over and over and over throughout the year, and then next year, and the next year, and the next year. So, and so forth. So instead of investing my money into something that I'm throwing away that's only $98, I'm going with the 162 cell tray that I'm going to use for several years, and I can use it over and over throughout the years for succession planning. Again, if you guys want to purchase anything from Hoss Tools and you don't already have an affiliate that you use, please use my link. Give us some credit on it so that we can, it'll just help our farm. But like I said, I don't want to take you away from an affiliate that you already use. Use them, and because it helps them just as much as it helps us. But I'm only going to tell you what I really like and what I really don't like. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to say this is the greatest thing that I've ever seen. I'm going to be completely honest with you. Now, as far as Hoss goes, I have to be honest with you and say, I've got to get up under here because it's mist and rain on me. I'm getting cool. I have to say that I have never been more satisfied with the seed germination than I have with Hoss. And if you know me, I am a tomato and pepper person, and it's probably the most popular seeds out there is tomato and pepper seeds in the spring. But I found some really good recipes, and I can make some really good pepper sauce, and I've just been so pleased with the grade of seed, because if you know, Hoss has a video out there again that tells about grades of seeds, and they don't use the big box store grade. They're a step above that. So again, if you don't have an affiliate already, please check out my link in the description of this video and make your purchase from Hoss, and it'll just help our farm. Now, the big seed tray, I love it. The mister valve that goes on the hose pipe to water your seeds in, I love it. I wish I'd have done that a long time ago, because it's not going to wash your seeds away. It's just going to wet the soil and wet your seeds and get them ready to start germinating. Now, am I using a heat mat from Hoss? Not at this time, but I plan to check it out and see what the difference is. This one here I bought from an online store, and it's doing very good right now, but it is in the second season that I'm using it. So how long will it last? I don't know. When it goes bad, I will let you know, because I will be more than happy to get a heat mat from Hoss and let you know how much better it is. Do I like it better? I'll let you know that. But right now, we're just going to use what we've got. I'm going in to make another purchase for another seed tray, because that one I'm in love with. And then we'll talk about what else we're going to do. Now, can you see what I'm standing next to? This is Peggy Martin. And this was gifted to me now, not last season, but the season before, I believe, from Jacqueline and Zach Head over at Head Family Farm. And she was in like a little 1 gallon pot. Y'all, can y'all see that? Let me see if I can tilt it up. Can y'all see that? She is like over the entire arch. All right, let's go inside and make me another purchase. Thank you all so much for your prayers for my grandson who had surgery on Monday. It has been a wild ride. I've had very little sleep, but I was able to bring him here and take care of him and give him nursing care around the clock. So working with my son on that, and he has done very well. And I know my son appreciates it. He is a lineman with the power company, and he has a job that takes him away from home a lot. So on weeks that he's on call, then he works a lot of overtime. So anyway, we have gotten him down to very little pain medication already, and he doesn't take any kind of narcotic pain medication. It's all basically like an over-the-counter medication now, and he's having to take very little of that. So with around-the-clock care and lots of good nutritional food, he is making a really good recovery. We really appreciate all you guys for all your prayers. So next on the agenda for him is to go back to the doctor for his 2-week post-op appointment next week. He will return to school next week, and then he will start physical therapy with that arm after school. So we again thank you so much for your prayers and good thoughts and good vibes sent our way. So now let's get on with what the plan is for this morning. So headed out to feed Helen this morning. I have a bucket of milk here, and the reason we have graduated her to a pail of milk instead of bottles, as you know, Helen got very sick because Helen aspirated milk when drinking from a bottle. That's because the nipple allowed the milk to go way too fast, and Helen was basically sucking it down her windpipe. So I went and got a new nipple, and then she couldn't get milk out of that nipple, and she would struggle and struggle, and so it would take me 30 minutes to get a half of a bottle down her, and she would just get tired. Well, Helen started losing a little bit of weight, not only because she had pneumonia from aspirating the milk, but also because she'd just get tired before she finished eating. I kept thinking it's either too much milk coming out of the nipple or it's not enough milk coming out of the nipple. What do I do? So I started researching online, and a lot of people had success from feeding calves from a pail or a bucket rather than feeding a bottle. And there were clear instructions online about how to train them to go from sucking on a bottle when calves aspirate to drinking from a bucket. And I decided that I was going to try it. What I did was I put my fingers in her mouth and let her begin to suckle. And then I would slowly move toward the bucket, but bring the bucket up at the same time until she reached the milk, and it would come past my fingers. And then I would simply slip my fingers out of her mouth. Well, I only had to do that for 3 times. Y'all, she caught on so quick, and she would suck that milk down. Now, a pail, which is, in her case, it was 2 quarts or a half a gallon of milk, which equaled a bottle and a half. She would suck that down in a matter of under a minute and want more. But it's simply because she had sucked it down so fast she didn't know she was full yet. But it worked. And it worked the next time. And it worked the next time the 3rd time, I didn't even have to put my fingers in her mouth. She knew what the bucket was, and she went for it. And then in the process, when she didn't know she was full yet, she would start punching me like I was her mom. And one time she almost lifted me up off the ground. She was punching that hard. So I thought I would take you guys with me this morning to the barn to show you the good news is that Helen is drinking her milk from a bucket now. My goodness, you were a little hungry, weren't you, baby girl? There you go. not go as planned this morning because instead of feeding the goats first, I went ahead to feed Helen first, which meant the goats saw me with a bucket. And like a dummy, I just went on and opened the stall door, and the goats ran in, and they were all over Helen and ate all of Helen's calf starter, and they were just goats. They were just goats. So that just means that Helen was disturbed. She was not in her normal routine. She started bellowing, and she ate only a portion of her milk this morning. And she was pretty hungry because she was all over me when she smelled and, felt the bucket. And I don't know. She ate probably 2 quarts. She probably ate 1 bottle, but Helen is usually hungrier than that. I was going to look at her starter to see if possibly she had eaten some starter. Is the reason that she did not eat as much milk as normal. But I couldn't because the goats eat it already. So I don't know. Helen may have eaten some starter, and she may not have. I will determine that at lunch today. I refilled it. I will take her another bit of milk here in a little bit, and we will determine if she is in an eating mood. Now, I think also because I did graduate her to the barn stall instead of here at the house in the brooder house, which she was totally destroying, so I had to get her out of there and get those floors cleaned because there was cow poo everywhere. So I put her in the barn stall, and it could be that she's in a different location, but she ate yesterday. She ate all 3 meals yesterday. She ate and wanted more. But those steers are bellowing at her, and she's bellowing back, and it's a constant mooing going on out there, which is very cute, and I love the sound of a cow. But I just want to be sure that she hasn't had a setback. She's got nice warm hay in there to lay on. And, the other end of the stall is concrete where I can wash it down. And that might be all she wants is 1 bottle. I don't know. But that's what the amount is that she ate this morning, was the equivalent of only 1 bottle. Normally it's 1.5 bottles. But like I said, I don't know how much calf starter she ate during the night because I just left it out there and I was going to look at it this morning. But I can tell you this. When I went last night, she had definitely made a little dent in it. So if she can start eating that calf starter and get her rumen built up, that's going to be amazing if I can get her off of all milk and get her started eating very quickly. Now, her eyesight, I do believe she has a little bit of sight in that right eye because she can follow me. She can find me as long as I'm up close. If I'm far out, no, she cannot. I have to be up close, call her name, and get her to look in my direction, and then she can find me. But it was definitely a fiasco this morning during feeding time, and I still have to go back to the barn because I left some things out there. I left my coat out there. I had to take it off because I got too hot. All that work. I was chasing goats. They broke into the feed stall. They were extra hungry this morning. Now, why are they extra hungry? No particular reason, because they're goats. They have green grass started in the field out there in the pasture. They get fed every day. They get fresh hay. They're fat. That's plain and simple. Those goats are fat and spoiled rotten, and they just wanted to break in something and eat. Anyway, it was just a fiasco this morning. They were mad that I didn't feed them first. I thought getting the milk to Helen while it was still temperature perfect would be ideal. But honestly, from now on, the goats are going to get a snack first. Even if I have to lock them up in their stall to eat, they're going to get their snack first. Then Helen will eat. And honestly, I may have to throw the steers some food because they were bellowing and she could not concentrate on her bucket for wanting to bellow back at them. So this morning's feeding was a fiasco. I don't know. I come back home tired, more tired than getting out of bed and going out there to feed. But anyway, she did eat the equivalent of one bottle. Now, I know you thought, well, that was quick. Well, Helen's from a bottle, she struggled. And from a pail, she can suck down a bottle and a half in under a minute. It's that fast. So her brain didn't have time to discover that her stomach's full. She doesn't eat anymore. So I would cut her off and she would still punch at me and act hungry and just, it would get wild in there. And I'll try to video some more at the next feeding. But, it got rough this morning. That was a fiasco. Helen. Come on. Helen. 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 All right, girl. No need in punching. No need in punching. Come on, let's get back around here. Don't punch. See, you didn't eat your breakfast this morning all the way. Now lunch is super good, isn't it? Okay. Oh, girl. You are getting way too big. Way too big to be punching. I see that you have eaten some of your starter. I always leave dirtier than I came, don't I? Sweet Helen. You know that you're full now, right? You just drank all your milk. Your belly's big. You're full. Trust me, you're full. All right, Helen is fed. Lunch. Empty bucket this time. She was extra hungry, so I'm assuming that it had everything to do with the goats going in there and invading her space and getting her all discombobulated. And, well, she ate this time. she ate fast, and you see how she gets excited, wants to punch me like I'm a mama cow, and she's a little too big to be punching me and lifting me off the ground. So I have to be very careful with her, and as soon as we can get her to let me set the bucket down and let her drink from the bucket and get her started eating starter so that we can get her off of the bucket of milk, the better, because she's just going to continue to get bigger and bigger. But y'all, I am so pleased with the fact that she is doing extremely well and she's able to eat from this bucket. I'm just extremely pleased. This is working out with the bucket better than I could ever imagine, because y'all, I was struggling with that bottle, and this is going to work out just great. I'm so excited for Helen. Things are really beginning to look up now. Her eyes. Dr. D is actually texting me right at this minute, and we're discussing her eyes. So that will be in the next video. But right now, that's all for today. I just wanted you guys to see that Helen has learned something new. She's learned to eat from the bucket, and it took literally 2 feedings to teach her that. So in case that you have a calf and you want to learn to feed from the bucket instead of from a bottle due to aspiration reasons and pneumonia, then patience and consistency is going to be the key for that. So in the meantime, y'all, it's a great day. Y'all farm on.